Yo, welcome to OTB Boxing School, where we make casual fans real fans. Man, y'all know what it is. We got some fight film to break down, so class is in session on Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inuoue for the WBO WBC super bantamweight titles, in which Naoya Inuoue holds. Stephen Fulton is moving up in weight, giving us the fight in which boxing fans wanted to see, and I couldn't be more pleased with the sport of boxing making this fight happen. But meantime, in between time, I need all my new students, go ahead, smash that subscribe button, man, smash that bell notification. Old students, hit that like button. Man, we about to get into this fight film, as the credentials will be popping up on the screen for both of these fighters. Man, as I said earlier, I couldn't be more pleased with both of them. So let's try and support both of these fighters, win, lose, or draw, man, because I think this is going to be a hell of a fight. We got Naoya Inuoue, who's going to have to overcome an inch and a half height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage for Stephen Fulton. But let's start out, man. I wanted to start out with this film of Stephen Fulton, as he just got caught sitting on the line on his back foot. But I started off with this film just to show y'all the kid got all the tools, you understand, and he has all of the answers that he needs to keep Naoya Inuoue where he needs to be. I picked this fight because this fighter showed a lot of different looks to Stephen Fulton. As you can see, double, triple up the jab right there to put Stephen Fulton on his back foot. As I can't wait to see if Naoya Inuoue is going to be able to show us all of these looks in which this fighter showed us. But as we look at Stephen Fulton, man, he has a tendency to drop his hands at time and to not stay on the phone. So for this fight, I really want him to stay on the phone and stay tight. But when it comes to that lead hand, as we see that check hook right there, check hook again, you understand, as he's timing the weight transition of his opponent, then you're going to see him lean in, set up that overhand right, roll with the punch, you understand. Just beautiful boxing, man. The kid has all the tools, but as you can see him get caught on the line at times, man. And because he has this Philly shell and his lead hand is so low, then it makes his jab irrelevant at times, and fighters can see it coming. Therefore, it will be countered at some point in this fight from Naoya Inuoue. However, Stephen Fulton has a high defensive IQ, and he just has a tendency to back himself in the corners, and I really think that that's what's going to be to his detriment in this fight, as we could see him right here jab his way out, then roll off the line, get himself out of harm's way, and keep this fight in the middle of the ring, which is where he'll be successful at. As you can see him triple up that jab right there, take advantage of the reach advantage. He gets caught on his way out just from his tendency to drop his hands most of the time, giving to that Philly shell, sometimes due to his confidence and his ability to take punches from fighters at that weight class in which he's been at. However, he is moving up in weight to take this fight, and we all know the power that Naoya Inuoue possesses. So I really like to see Stephen Fulton stay tight throughout this fight, not drop his hands so much, and let's get some head movement laterally and not back up so much. Let's stand our ground a little bit and show us some head movement. But right here, I just wanted to show you that he does have a tendency to get caught on the line and with his head over that front foot. And when he does that, man, you can see him take that overhand right there. And because I know that your head is over your front foot, it's going to be there again. So he doubles up with the overhand right. And the kid is successful. Once he does close the distance, then he'll shoot that little jab down there to the body just to make sure he can get close. And as he does get close, Stephen Fulton going to wrap up while he get in the pocket. I mean, once he get and with his back to those ropes, and that's really a place I don't want to see Stephen Fulton throughout the course of this fight. But he has a tendency to back up when he's not active, as we can see him shoot the double jab, then go downstairs to the body. As I said, when the kid controls the line, he's active. So I really think that that's going to be his strong suit throughout this fight. However, I do expect Naoya Inuoue to close the distance and to eliminate that lead hand. And when he does, I'm going to need for Stephen Fulton to really depend on his legs throughout the course of this fight. But I'm curious to see if if Naoya Inuoue can show us all of the looks, as we can see, his opponent right here has changed the levels. He's went outside. Now he's showing him a high guard, baiting him in so that he could try and counter Fulton. Fulton is just smart enough, and he just shoots that shotgun jab right in there to keep him off of his front foot. Now the kid lifts up his front foot so that he can't, trying to disguise the weight transition. And Fulton is smart enough to rotate off of the line clockwise away from that power hand, just to give you all a sense of the adjustments that Stephen Fulton is capable of making throughout this fight. And that's really the nod in which I'm giving Stephen Fulton to win this fight. But right here, I just wanted to show you that he does have a high tendency to back up, and this is when he gets caught in trouble. Look at him backing up, just backing up until he gets caught on the line. Then he's right there for 2 overhand right hands again, and we know the power that Naoya Inuoue possesses, so I don't want to see him backing up, putting himself up against the ropes or in the corners where he's gonna be in harm's way. And trust me, if he does, Naoya Inuoue gonna put his ass to sleep or in that front row, man. And I don't want to see that for the pride of Philadelphia. Gotta say that Stephen Fulton's a very smart fighter, so I want to see him go in here and fight his fight. Let's work that jab. Let's take advantage of that reach, that 3-inch reach advantage. But as you can see, when he's not active, you can't eliminate that lead hand in which Stephen has, because he shoots his jab from such a low angle point. Therefore, it will be countered. And that's really something that I expect his camp to try and work on, and come in this fight real tight and real on his dean. But right here, as you can see him back himself into a corner again, because he just refuses to rotate off the line or to rotate counterclockwise in this appearance, or clockwise right now, to stay away from the power hand. So I'm curious, as you can see him right here drop his hands. Look at him. That ain't some shit that you want to do in this fight against Naoya Inuoue. However, you see this kid change the levels. Now he gonna sit on the high guard until he can close the distance, in which he has some success. These are all points that he's landing in this fight. And if Naoya Inuoue can get that close and land those type of punches with that type of power, Stephen Fulton gonna be hurt at some point in this fight, and he gonna have to dig deep and go into a dark place. But right here, as you can see him get caught with yet another overhand right, because he gets caught on that front foot, and you could time that weight transition with him. You know what I mean? When his hand is that low, you can time his weight transition, because he got to shoot the jab from such a low angle point, as I said previously in the video, and that's gonna make him easy to counter. But when he is in the high guard, when he is tight on the phone, shooting that jab, taking advantage of that 3-inch reach advantage, shooting that check hook, then hey, I expect him to win this fight, and I expect him to fight his fight throughout the remainder of this fight. I don't want to see him going there exchanging with Naoya Inuoue. This won't be a fight that you'll see him fight in the pocket. I do expect him to pick his moments. However, we know the type of power that he possesses, but once again, you can see him back himself into a corner, and then look, he gonna tell him, come on, let's go. Now watch the kid. Watch how smart the kid is. As Stephen Fulton's hands, as you can see him drop the phone. Don't drop the fucking phone. Now he'll go into that high guard, and watch the kid tee off. Good glove placement. Wraps that,
People
that
always
right
talk
hook
about,
around that glove.
I'm a hard worker.
And we've
Everybody in
seen
this
him
room is a
take
hard
4 to
worker.
6
That's
right
not going to
hooks.
separate you from
And
anybody
this is
else.
the same
What are you working
right
hard
hook
on?
that we see
People always
playing,
look for one thing for the
one
other.
of the
Oh,
Malone
you know, you got to
brothers
work
asleep
smart
in this film. But let's get to Naoya Inuoue, man, because I really was impressed with Naoya Inoue's feet, and that's why I started off with this video. Let's look at how dependent he is on his feet. I picked the Nonito Donaire film because that was the most credible opponent in which I felt that Naoya Inuoue fought. So I wouldn't give you all nothing but this fighter at his best, fighting against the best. But as we can see him right here, as he closed the distance, going to that high guard, and he just sits on the line until Nonito can put that 2-3 punch combination together. And it's a very awkward punch combination, but it's successful. And I want to see if Stephen Fulton cannot be so conventional to land some of these type of punches against Naoya Inuoue. But Naoya Inuoue is another fighter who doesn't have the lateral head movement. And how does he counter that? With activity, 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 activity. And look at him work, as we just seen him land a nice 3-punch combination, ended with a 2-3 with the right cross, being successful on Nonito Donaire. But as you can see him right there, has some head movement. That's just so he could get out of harm's way, get back on the line. He's a master at controlling the line. He's very dependent on his lead hand, and he has great feet. However, his feet and his head placement, he gets caught over his front foot a lot because he's bringing his hips with him throughout the transition of his punches. And Naoya Inuoue is a striker. He doesn't you don't see him make a lot of he doesn't have any activity that has defensive purpose. All of his activity is to land his punch, and that's something that I really find detrimental in the progression of Naoya Inoue's career, as he's been this successful throughout the remainder of it. I do look for some fighters to really begin to capitalize on that. But as we can see him shoot that jab down to the body, now Nonito is starting to eliminate his lead hand. And that's what I want to see if Stephen Fulton can do. If he can eliminate his lead hand with some defensive purpose, we could see Nonito start to close the distance while Naoya is trying to shoot that jab to keep Nonito off of his lead foot. So Nonito starts to bounce a little bit. Therefore, he can't try and make it a little harder to get his weight transition. But he just sits on that front foot and then takes that lead punch in order to put Naoya on his back foot. And when Naoya gets on his back foot, look at what he does. He's going to shell up. He's going to shell up, and when he in the pocket, he'll drop the phone, leave himself open for that overhand left that Nonito know that his head was going to be there, because as I said, he'll change the levels up and down, but he won't go inside or outside. He won't put his head in none of the head slots on the lateral side. But look at him again as he's hurt. He'll just back up, go into that high guard, and he'll counter that with pressure. And a lot of times he's okay with the exchange because he believes in his power. So he's willing to take your punch to land his, which is a Mexican style with no defensive purpose. And that's why I'm picking Stephen Fulton to win this fight. However, let's look at Naoya right here. And another thing I think that Stephen can take advantage of is him getting caught on his front foot. Naoya's over his front foot a lot because he's looking to land his punch, and therefore you can time his weight transition, and he'll change the levels up and down. He won't go north and south, but when he goes down, everything that goes down has to come up. So I look for Stephen Fulton to land a lot of overhand rights as Naoya begins to change the levels to deal with that Stephen Fulton Philly shell check hook that he'll have to deal with throughout that fight. For him to see that check hook, he'll change the levels, and that's when I look for Stephen Fulton to land that overhand right, just as Nonito Donaire does. But while Nonito Donaire lands that, he eliminates the lead hand, and when he does that, he has a lot of success putting Naoya Inuoue on his back foot, even broke his jaw in this fight. So I really think that if Stephen Fulton can eliminate his lead hand and can keep the pressure on Naoya Inuoue and match Naoya's pressure with defensive purpose and orchestrated pressure, which is going to be timing, which is going to be a lot of movement on your legs, which is going to be a lot of turning Naoya Inuoue, jabbing yourself out of these corners when you like to just Philly shell up. You know what I mean? So I really think that Stephen Fulton possesses all of the tools. However, that's draining for a fighter to fight that type of fight, which is why Naoya has such a high knockout ratio, because the kid can cut off the ring. He doesn't make a lot of adjustments. He sticks to his game plan, and he's great at it. And I don't expect him to do anything different to fight Stephen Fulton. I really expect us to see the Naoya Inuoue that we've all known and grown to love. And at some point, I think that it'll be successful for him. But I do believe that the determining factor for me is going to be Stephen Fulton's legs. As Naoya Inuoue, he's very dependent on his legs. But as he sits down later on throughout the fight, he has a high magnitude of pressure. I don't have the punch statistics as we could see him get caught on the line right there as his feet drain out. He gets caught a lot coming out of in and out exchanges. So Stephen Fulton having a 3-inch reach advantage, that'll be another area that I look for him to really take advantage of. But I couldn't be more excited about this fight, man. I was excited to break this film down for y'all, man. We getting back active. Gotta say that. We gonna have Capper Fact Fridays coming up and Trainer Talk Thursdays, man. So we gonna get 2 in this week. Everybody, all the new students, go ahead and subscribe, man. I'm pleased with my old students, man. All of the faculty, students, everybody that's a part of OTB Boxing School. Y'all know what this is. TWT as a movement. Yeah, I mean, everybody who stuck it out with us while we was patient with us while we transitioned throughout making boxing the focal point of our life right now. So we'll be back active, man, and I appreciate everybody's patience, man. But we on y'all ass, man. A lot of y'all been stealing my shit while I've been gone. So while I address that at the moment, man, I just want y'all to know, man, it's okay to use my shit, man. Just put my name on it, show me some love, man. That's all. I ain't mad, I ain't no hater, you know what I mean? It ain't no big deal, like, but don't steal my shit, man. I put a lot of creative control and a lot of creative thinking in the ways that will make my shows different, you know what I mean? When y'all use Capper Fact, that's a segment of my show that I started close to 8 months ago, you know what I mean? There's some other things that y'all was biting, but right now, man, we ain't gonna dig into it too much, man. I want to congratulate both of these fighters, win, lose, or draw, for taking this fight, for making this fight happen for the sport of boxing, man. This is special. This is gonna be a special year in boxing, man. We got Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Y'all know what it is. I've been told y'all what it was on that fight, man. So tap into everything boxing, man. All of the supporting networks, man, who's a part of OTB Boxing School success. All of my faculty, lunch ladies, students, man, we about to turn this shit up. Y'all know what it is. So appreciate y'all tapping in with us till we tap out, man. Class is dismissed on Stephen Fulton, Naoya Inuoue. Y'all hit the comments. Let me know who y'all got in this fight. I got Stephen Fulton by decision. I don't expect either fighter to stop each other in this fight. I think this fight does go the distance. And let's support the loser of this fight the same way we support the winner. Because if we want these fights of this magnitude, then we have to support the losers the same way we support these winners. Otherwise, we can't be mad at guys for protecting that zero. But on that note, we out. Class dismissed from OTB Boxing School. Y'all tapped in with us till we tapped out, and now we tapped out.